So we're now going to zip tie this thing up and secure the components. So step one is we want to secure the receiver, and the way to do it is just a single zip tie right there. We'll keep this thing from moving forward in an accelerated crash. All the forces on crash will be in that direction, or some variation thereof. So we just want to make sure things don't move forward, nor that things can get loose and in flight go backward into the propeller. Okay, so this is just going to be a single punch through there. Put it here and here. Yeah. I'm regretting my decision to put those right there, but whatever. And I'm going to do 2 small zip ties. The big ones are making me less happy. Okay, so there, double this one up. Okay, a little bit tighter. No, that's just looking a little, that's solid, that'll work. Okay, and then next what I want to do, I'll do the antennas later. So this is going to set, where I set the receiver kind of determines where everything else goes, because it's the brain center and everything connects to it. So speed controller's next. You kind of want the heat sink to be up, and I like to put it off to the side here, just so that these, these are kind of out. I don't want them resting necessarily right up against the motor mount, because I might eventually wear through and cut, so I just kind of leave it like that, and a little bit of room, and then we just put in a couple of holes. And again, the only thing I'm really worried about is forward acting force on this, so we'll just use a single zip tie on it. The Make Magazine folks did a really nice thing, because they did all the wires underneath the deck and it looked super clean. You can do that too if you want. Might make it hard to remove components in the field, but sure looks slick. That's a nice innovation. If you come up with your own innovations, please let us know. This is an evolving design. It is all not said and done. Many people have contributed to making it better. Concept of the deck's not mine. It's a fellow named Splinter. Decided he wanted to be able to replace radio gear quickly. This is the deck we're working on right now. And really kind of revolutionized the effort and the design. It's really good. Alright, so please send us your ideas. I'm going to put one zip tie here, just to kind of solidify everything there. Keep it from flying around. I tend not to mix components together with zip ties, because sometimes when you have to replace something in the field, too many things are attached to that zip tie. It just is a pain. Modularize it a little bit. Okay, alright, so that's good. This guy's kind of loose. I don't know if I'm really worried about it. It can't really go anywhere, so it's it can flop around, or we'll figure out something else to do with it later. Okay, servos. So we want these servo wires so they will not get drawn into the prop. This has happened many times, as you can well imagine. So what I do is just something really simple, which is just wrap them around a few times. Do not do this. This is something people always do because they think it looks cool, and it does, but it doesn't work. So they'll do that, and then put some zip ties over it, and what will happen is it'll crash or it'll get snagged or something, and this will just pull out from the zip tie, and that doesn't work. You have to do something that's a lot less attractive, which is namely wrap around a few times like this, and put a zip tie there. You move it back and forth where you want it. Yeah, let's go a little closer over here. Okay. here. This over here out of the way. Just a couple of wraps. I do like 3 wraps. That's generally enough to keep it out of trouble. And you don't want there to be a lot of tension here off of these, because that's a stress riser, and you can actually end up severing those wires just from vibrations. There is vibration on this thing, not a ton, but enough to work its way through. And this comes through this way. Okay, so these are, we have servos that can't kind of make their way back into the prop, and then we have these here. So there's going to be a strip of Velcro going down the middle here. So what I'm going to do is run one of these receiver wires, and the way I like to do this, particularly when it's one of these double arrangements, is I will take this out to a length, about like right there, punch a hole through, push this through, and then on this side, just find a nice convenient length. That looks good. And push it through again. Be careful. You don't want to, I've done it just right so that I can get it through without, there's a hard metal bit in there holding that receiver in there. I'm pulling this through now. And now I get a nice vertical antenna, which I really like having. And I'll just put a little piece of tape there to keep that from flying around too much. The reason when you have the multiple antenna receivers, you want them to be in different orientations. I'll look at the manual on the Optic 5 radio, and you'll see what they are talking about, why that makes sense, and why is this tape such a There we go. And just take a little bit of packing tape. Just put that right over that, so it just doesn't go anywhere. And then this one, so I've got this up and in the way. Be careful with that now. That's just something that can kind of get messed with. I'll put this like this, and sort of getting as much variation in orientation as possible. And I'll put that on with just a zip tie right there. It's got that little hard bit. I think that'll hold it pretty well. If I don't like it, I will put in another zip tie or put in a piece of tape. I tend to try and keep tape off of the deck. It always gets janky and dirty, and it's a pain to work with when you're doing repairs, unless it's really well hidden or well motivated. So, okay, that's pretty good. That's not really going to go anywhere. But you know what? Just because if this thing gets out for some reason, it will get drawn into the prop and get cut, and that will really kind of ruin that receiver's day. So I'm just going to put a little bit right here. Put one right here. Just, oops, maybe a little closer. How do we do that? So if that comes out, it's still going to get whacked. I'm going to move it up. See, even though I built probably. All right, so I'm going to get this antenna a little better secured. I'm just worried it's going to slip out and maybe get pulled back. I really don't want to lose the antennas into the prop. So we'll fix that. Okay, so that's basically a pretty well secured looking deck. We have everything kind of not going anyplace bad. It all looks nice and solid. All right.